Hey guys, so when I was meditating, I got this imagery in my head of a scroll. And that's all I saw, but I knew it was filled with a message, so let's pull that message out. I also work with the Akashic Records, so if you will allow me into your energy, I can get a more specific message for you. All you have to do is just be like, yes, I allow you into my energy. All right, let's see what we have here. We have the Seven of Swords. That's got to be why I'm back here for the second day in a row. If you guys missed my video that I put out yesterday about me doing a 3-day egg cleanse, go ahead and watch that because I feel like there's an asterisk from that video to this one. I feel like this is going to be a continuation. See, I feel like some of you have been planning with the Two of Wands, like how to get out of a situation that just does not feel right. I mean, this could even be financially for some of you, but this could also be like relationship-wise, because King of Pentacles to me, I always feel like this is something long term, and with the Six of Pentacles, you could feel like you're being literally like shortchanged. Take that as it resonates. It could even be it could be financial, it could be relationship wise. I feel like you've been trying, literally looking over the balcony and spending time with spirit, like thinking, how do I get out of here? And like asking your guides, like, what do I do? I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to do what I need to do. I'm willing to change what I have to change about myself, even to get myself out of here. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Card number 1 is the Seven of Cups. This came up in yesterday's reading as well. And since it's at the beginning instead of, sorry, my microphone is in the frame, being a Virgo. Since the Seven of Cups is here at the start instead of at the end, this is just showing me that this is like a continuation of the reading from yesterday. We also have 7-7. You could be seeing 7-7 or 7-7-7. Let's go further and then we'll talk about it. Card number 2 is the Nine of Pentacles. See, this could definitely be something financial, and I just saw 2, 3, 4 on my time, showing me that this is something that, like I said at the start, you're willing to take the necessary steps. It's not like you're not willing to do the work. It's not like you're not willing to do something that is like risky or scary even. Sometimes with the Seven of Swords, I see this as like over, like your guides helping you get out of a very, very tricky situation where you have to like move through the lasers. What was that movie? It's an older movie from the 80s, where she had to like go between the lasers. Sometimes I see that like this. It's like fancy footwork. Because the way that I see the Seven of Swords much of the time, because I read for you. I'm not reading for this other energy. 333 as I'm saying this. I'm reading for you. And so what I see this as a lot of the time is your angels and guides saying, yes, it's a tricky situation. You picked that up correctly. Yes, you have felt like not yourself. This is also a positive card as well. In today's reading, it's talking about your dreams, and we'll get to that. But let me stick with this for just another second here. What I see this a lot of the time as is like fancy footwork, with your guides and your angels and your ancestors and source itself helping you move through a tricky situation that you actually need help with. And it's like foresight, it's like doing it ahead of time because he's sneaking. Like he's able to get away before all of these other people come out and like kill him, basically. Like this is a war zone. You could have felt like you've been in a war zone and you're strategizing and planning to get out. I'm suddenly seeing this as like strategizing in the tent, like, you know, those war movies where they're like leaning over the table and they're like strategizing 444 as I'm saying this on how to get out. Yeah, you could be like trying to Emperor right now, trying to figure out, I know this is not the Emperor, but he to me is most like the Emperor I know that the Emperor is all the four kings, but just the way that the Emperor is sitting reminds me a lot of the King of Pentacles. So you could be in a position where you are having to be an emperor. You're having to be like an admiral. Like you could even be like trying to strategize out of a situation with a group, because I just keep seeing people around a table. That could be you and your guides. For a lot of you, that's probably the case, but for some of you, you may actually be strategizing something with a group as well. All right, so let's pull it back in and let's take a look at what card number 3 is, and then we'll talk more about this energy here. Card number 3 is the Magician. See, I feel like what we are picking up on in the reading is it's like, it's a hard thing to put into words what I'm seeing here. It's like you're strategizing and you're moving through a tricky situation, but at the same time, you also kind of don't know what you're doing. And I know what this is. It's kind of it's like timeline work. It's like part of you is doing one thing, another part of you is doing another thing, and that's how you're manifesting your way out. That's why it's tricky, because it's tricky on the mind. What is time? Time is relative. And I feel like really this card is the star of the show here, the Seven of Swords, because it's like it feels really bad moving through this situation. And it feels like you barely get a break to like be with yourself and be with your thoughts and actually like think about what your dreams are. I'm seeing this yesterday's reading, talking about like enemies. I was seeing this as like a fog that slowly cascades over your consciousness, where you start to like dip into a slumber or a sleep and you don't even realize it's happening, because it happens over time. It's like a lobster in boiling water. But I'm not seeing it like that today. I'm seeing it as your dreams. I'm seeing it as you wanting to get here. Like it's like you want to get to the land of dreams. And because it's a 7, these 2 7s, it's going to take some fancy footwork to even get to a place of neutrality. I feel like a lot of you have been working out of a fight or flight zone for a while, and that 7 of Swords can be a fight or flight kind of emergency energy, because it is in a battle zone. Like this is not just like him going to Chili's for dinner. This is like he's trying to outsmart the enemy. We talked about enemies yesterday. And so apply this to where it applies in your life. You're coming up as ultra stable. You're coming up as the 9 of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, male, female, non-binary, however you identify. I want to get a little bit more on this 9 of Pentacles here. Let's just get a little more on her, on them, on you. Because there's something in that 9 of Pentacles. It's like she has something up her sleeve. With the Magician, people might think, 3 of Pentacles, your guides are working on something here. People might think that they've like outsmarted you in a particular situation, when in fact you're like 10 steps ahead. What is that? 10 of Pentacles. We're going to lay that down over there for a minute here. Ace of Wands. Yeah, it's like that's what I was seeing with the wand. It's like you have something up your sleeve. I was literally seeing it. Now my nose is itching so much. Oh my god. I'm seeing you as this magician. It's like people might look at you and kind of underestimate you. And don't get me wrong, the 9 of Pentacles is a powerful energy. Like she's able to stand on her own 2 feet. People know that she is living kind of more of a lush lifestyle. She is, she has everything under control. And I'm not saying that you aren't appearing that way, but what I'm saying is you are appearing that way, but what I'm seeing is like this is actually you. It's like people are not understanding what they're dealing with when they're looking at you. That you're actually this magician and you're pulling off some sort of a complex stunt. I'm seeing like I don't know. I'm just seeing all the again. It's coming through as fancy footwork here, and and for some of you, it is something financial because we have another Pentacles card, and we're going from the 9 to the 10. But there's something here about you having to be very strategic. Can you tell me more about the 9 of Pentacles, please? And I feel like people think they have you pegged. Like they think like. People know you're successful. People know that. 3 of Cups. As I'm saying, people. 2 3s, 33. You could be seeing 333 or 33. 33 is a master number. See, you're a master. It's like, this is kind of how people are perceiving you, is this 9 of Pentacles, like I was saying before. Right? But really, they don't understand. It's like, when you take off that mask, it's like, you're the magician. And I feel like people have underestimated that. Let them underestimate that. 11 as I'm saying this. This is like another 3. I just opened to 3 of Swords. Let's get a little more on this. Because this is like high level timeline work where you're doing some master manifesting here. You're working on like, how do I change my story? This is not like, oh, how do I like increase my income? This is like, how do I, star Aquarius energy here. You sometimes with the Magician and the Star, the way that I see this is like, you are, it's you're somebody who works with astrology. You could be an astrologer. You're somebody who works with manifestation, the law of attraction. You're somebody that you could use your powers for evil, but you don't. You also could be always looking for people to kind of like bow down to you. And here's the Emperor. Gemini, Aries. It's like you could come out and put on a show. Like, how many cults are there? How many, how many, like, I don't know how to put this. It's like you don't show your cards, and that precisely, that fancy footwork is what's going to get you to the 10 of Pentacles. Because others in your position with this level of power, I'm seeing it as pure star power. You could be an air sign. You could be an Aquarius, a Gemini. We have Gemini twice. You could have Aries in your chart as well. Who I'm speaking to is somebody that understands the laws of physics as well. See, sometimes I see the Magician as, it's like he understands the laws of nature. He understands, like, that's why he has all these elements. Like, I feel like sometimes people don't understand what they're dealing with the Magician. It's like he can like play with fire. He can like play with perception. He can use that if he wants to deceive people even. And that's why I shouldn't have put away the 7 of Swords, because that was like our star card. I don't know why I put it away. Maybe because we had to bring out this star instead of focusing on the negative. It's like we're here, we're in the future. When you're watching this, we're in the present, but I'm speaking from the future, speaking to you about how you're going to get here. It's like you're going to move through undetected into a much better situation because this is who you are. And you could have used your power in this lifetime for your own gain or for evil even, or to deceive people, or to, like I said, start a cult or something. But instead, it's like you present yourself as this kind, I don't know how to describe this. This is wisdom personified. This is like somebody who walks through life and you don't know that you just walked past like an ascended master. This is giving like ascended master. This is giving like I want to say earth angel, but this is like alien. This is like Aquarian. This is like you're from a different part of the sky here and you've come to earth. And I feel like people have tried to mess with you because of that. And you could be doing something very 3D right now, and that's why this message is kind of funny. Again, with the 7 of Cups, this can be like, it's like you could use, I just keep seeing a snake charmer. This is like illusions. This is like you can get somebody, you can seduce someone. This is, you can, get people to, I don't know how to describe it. Like, you could use this for evil. You could use this power for evil. and you've chosen in this lifetime not to. And I feel like it's funny because people would never suspect. I mean, I know it about you because I just do. But other people would be looking at you, Emperor, and they don't quite know what they're dealing with. And I think that that's very smart of you. I do that as well. Because the reason why you, okay, and well, let me get background on this. What I'm seeing with this, it's funny because like this is coming through as like CEO. This is very 3D world stuff. But then it's reminding me of that scene from Rugrats. This like very, this was like one of the first episodes that came out on Rugrats, and I think it was Chucky, where he like unzipped his like human suit, and when he took it down, there was like an alien underneath. I feel like that's you. And you're doing all of this like 3D world stuff. And you're not even coming through as the Emperor. You're coming through as like the 9 of Pentacles. You're coming through as just like a regular person. This is giving like somebody who's like a billionaire, and they're walking through like Costco wearing an H&M hoodie. And they're just like eating the samples like everybody else, like just like a regular person. They're just like walking through 9 of Pentacles. Like, you, don't get me wrong, you are presenting, I like how Chris Rex says that this is a card of gratitude and luxuries. It's like you're walking through, yes, as this, but really behind that is the Emperor, but behind that is this alien. And so maybe you just needed to know that we know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you just need to know that the Galactic Federation is in communication with you. And that you are just right on track with everything that you're doing. We have 2 9s here as well. You could be seeing 99 or 999. I think this is just a message to aliens that what you're doing, it can be a lonely road, because on one hand, you know that you have to cloak yourself as a magician, as a high-level light worker, star magician. Like, you know that there's evil as well, like in my message from yesterday. You understand all that, but there's something there. It's not that it's lonely at the top. It's that it's lonely because there's so many layers here. It's like I was trying to describe with this 9 of Pentacles, Emperor. It's like, this is really you. This is how you present. This is like what we're dealing with actually. You don't even tell people about all that because you're humble. You have the goods to prove it, but you don't even need to because you're confident in yourself and you don't feel like you need to. But then there's like this magician behind that, where it's like you're you're moving through life. You're like this master manifester. You're always on to the next thing. You're always like doing the next thing. You're always becoming more successful. But then behind that, there's this Galactic Federation star seed light worker element. So you're kind of like this, you're like this you're like this Mark Zuckerberg-esque energy that is mixed with actual, we had the King of Pentacles, just everyday, like, hard work that most people are not willing to do. Let's be real. So you're just a genuine, hardworking, kind person. And then you have the level of, like, you're actually this, like, emperor CEO type of a person, but you don't show all that. Because first of all, you don't need to. And second of all, I mean, you could have Aquarius in your chart. That's very Aquarian to just be like, whatever, I am who I am. It's like there's this other element here where you're always a couple steps ahead. And so I feel like what the message here is from the well, let's bring it back down to the 3D. I feel like what this message is you're about to go from the 9 to the 10, financially speaking. And that's what I'm here to encourage you on, that what you are doing in a very 3D world sense is working, and it will become even more expansive. It will go from the 9 to the 10, and it will be like solid, because we had the King of Pentacles, meaning it's something that's long term. It's not just something that's like a side project or something. It's something that you will be able to like rely on for a long time. But I feel like it's like I'm coming to you as you're coming in. I'm coming as you're coming. I'm sorry. All right, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go, guys. But I'm sorry. All right, I get distracted. But what I'm seeing here is it's kind of like I'm coming basically to say to you, like, yeah, what you're working on is gonna be successful. But really, what I'm here to say is I understand feeling like this. Feeling kind of like this lonely feeling of you always are kind of like not only once removed, but you're like twice removed, and then you're like removed even further again. But that's because you're so high level. And this is the thing. Yes, it's more on the rare side, but other people do exist. There are 2 people on the Lover's energy card. To me, I see this Lover's card as a very high level, high frequency, high vibrating sort of a love that these aren't necessarily just regular human beings, I feel. It's like there are others like you. There are other souls here that have done things many times. There are other souls here that can relate to you. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be super obvious or that there's gonna be a lot of people that are like that. But they do exist, and I feel like the reason why we saw the 3 of Cups here is actually because you may be reconciling with a person that does understand, who's like who's a friend, but with the Lovers here, they could also be somebody that it becomes more with. So there's love here, there's money here, there's camaraderie here, there's understanding here, and you're just kind of like a badass, and I see you. I guess that's what the message is. So much love. It's been Missy Gordon, the Meta Mystic here, as always. I just opened to another 3, so you could definitely be seeing 333. Look out for that, because that's abundance, that's Empress. I see you guys on the next one. Take care.